Pouncy house. We pounce and then we bounce.
Hey guys, Pouncy here. Get your ears ready to rumble!
Pouncy house. We pounce and then we bounce. Pouncy house. We pounce and then we bounce.
Hey guys, Pouncy here. Get your ears ready to rumble!
Pouncy house. We pounce and then we bounce.
Hey guys, how are you? Pouncy here. So I decided that I would launch my Pouncy House channel on what better holiday. My favorite holiday is Halloween. So hopefully you're going to have a spectacular day. And I want to start off by talking about, well, first of all, I want to explain. Some of the subjects that I'm going to be speaking on are opinions, and some of the stuff is stuff that I've researched, and some of it is stuff that I've experienced that I know that most people out there have experienced the same thing. So I'm speaking out about it, and then if there's anything that you are interested in me researching or speaking out about, I'd be more than happy to leave it in the comments below. If you do leave any comments below, try to be nice. Try not to be hating. Don't be hating. It doesn't get us anywhere when we hate. It's better to just, if you don't agree with what someone says, which is totally understandable, then just give your point of view. That's all. No need to get defensive or anything else. I'm a pretty open person. I pretty much accept all opinions unless they're saying something about, like say I talk about angels communicating with me and they say, oh, that's not true. Then I have a problem with that because they don't know that it's not true because they haven't experienced it to have that opinion, if that makes any sense. But anyway, so today the topics are going to be about, which this is probably why I've also procrastinated about doing this particular opening subject: politics, racism, and religion. Three very difficult subjects to talk about because everyone has their own opinion. And some people are so stuck in their opinion that it would be impossible to get them to see something different. And I'm aware of that. But if I just touch one person out there that says, you know what, I love this point of view, I love the way she sees it this way, and I think this is the way I want to live my life. Because I believe in the eyes of God that it doesn't really matter. Well, I know. It's not like I believe. I know in the eyes of God it doesn't matter what religion you practice. It doesn't matter, obviously, your color of skin, and it sure as hell doesn't matter what political party you are. What matters is that you are a good human being and that you are walking through your journey in life, helping, loving, compassionate, considerate, respectful human being that makes mistakes. That's it. It's pretty simple to me. So the answer is always love. Loving all creatures that are on this planet, not selectively saying, oh, I don't like that, or oh, I'm just going to ignore that. Everything deserves energy. And, you know, there's obviously, for anything, if there's an invasion in your house of ants, you're going to have to take care of it. Completely understandable. But what I want to talk about today is these three subjects. These three subjects are very important, I believe, for the majority of humans to ascend and to become more conscious and aware. And what I like to say is opening up their consciousness. So let's start talking initially about politics. I'm not going to get into the ins and the outs of our president. There's things I agree and disagree with. Personally, I'm just going to say I don't really appreciate his character and how he walks through life. I'm an empath. I'm clairvoyant, clairsentient, clairaudient. So I kind of pick up his energy and how and why he functions the way he does. So I'm not really vibing with his mentality of how he walks through life. Doesn't mean that he's not intelligent and he's not a good businessman and he doesn't have really good ideas, and he's not right sometimes in some of things that he says. But I'm not, that subject's not about him, and that's just, again, my opinion, because I don't see someone as completely bad. But in politics, the problem is that we are always separating politics. You're a Democrat, you're Republican, you're independent. Everyone's fighting with each other. Everyone is creating scandals or looking at someone's skeletons in their closet to smear campaigns, slander, you know, everything you can imagine. And to me, it's just painful to watch and to hear, because it's just like, wow, I feel like I'm in second grade. It's like these are not the type of humans that are running this nation. Like, why do we choose to be in this type of character energy? Why don't we say, hey, I have integrity, I'm a good human, I'm definitely well educated, I can do the job of this is why. And the other candidates, you know, I believe that I'm better than, as far as my qualifications, just like you would if you went to a job interview, and let the people decide. Why do you need to slander someone? Because some of it, you don't even know if it's true or not true. Just seems like it's just back and forth. Like, you're like, who's telling the truth? How are you supposed to know who's telling the truth? And it confuses the public. And it's also very hard to hear day in and day out. And I'm sure there's plenty of people out there like, I agree with you. I can't wait for this to be over so I'm not hearing these smearing campaigns. It's constant. And it's just negative. And people might say, oh, you know, it's cliche to say be positive. No, it's actually a thing that we all should try to do, because when you are positive, that energy intercepts your home, intercepts your animals, intercepts your kids, intercepts everything around you. So I tend to, most of the time, not all the time, most of the time I'm positive, and most of the time I have great energy in my home, and great energy if I'm traveling, great energy with Boo, because he's number one, that he feels good. But I can tell you something. There's days that I've had bad communications with humans, really bad, and I've noticed a difference in Wilbur. Like, he's just not himself. So it's not like a loaded gun, but it's something that you want to be aware of. And all I can say is, like, if we just saw it in a different way and said, I want to run my campaign differently, then maybe that's when change starts to happen. Does that make sense? Maybe the next campaign, you know, we start to talk to the politicians and say, you don't need to be this way. What about just being positive? And then the news people would be positive. And all these panel of people giving their opinions, they would be positive, because one is, you know, it's like one is trying to one-up the other one. And it's so painful to watch, because you know it's coming from an area of, it's really coming from an area of darkness. That's the way I look at it. And because I'm an energy person, I feel energy. And a lot of people get anxiety when they watch stuff like this. So I say, you know, who cares if you're Democrat? Who cares if you're Republican? If you're in that position, you just do what's right for all the people. You know, and if you're in that position and you're taking money from, you know, corporations that want to make their pockets, build their pockets up, then shame on you. Shame on you. Then you're not really in it for the right reasons, because you should be in politics to help the world be a better place, help the nation be a better place, help all, not just your selective group of people. And that goes for both sides. So I'm not saying this on one side or another. This is on the whole idea of politics. This is just my opinion. So now we go into race. Wow, that's a big one. The color of the skin does not denote who you are as a human being. There's intelligent, rich, poor, maybe not too intelligent, crazy, kooky, whatever you want to call, in every skin color, every nationality, let's put it that way. There is brown colored people that are Indian, that are Egyptian, that are Peruvian, that are Spanish. Why are we always focusing on African? Why is that so important? Why can't we just let things be and drop the race card? Who cares what the color of your skin is? Let's look at and feel your energy. Let's pay attention to how you speak and how you speak to me and how we treat each other and say, wow, I really like her or him. He's a great person. Why don't we treat each other that way? Stop looking at the color of the skin, because we're doing it even when we make jokes. Oh, that white girl or that black boy or that this. And you know, you're like, first of all, they're not black. Black is dark. My shirt, that's black. They're not black. They're brown. Chocolate, which I love. You understand? It's ridiculous. I can't stand the idea of the name, the way we pronounce someone, instead of saying, hey, yeah, I saw this, oh, what did he look like? Oh, he had darker colored skin. Oh, was he black? He had darker colored skin. It's like chocolate. No, he's like, you know, so we have to come up with a different name. Maybe African. I don't know if they want to, you know, the African Americans want to be called African American. But all I can tell you is, I just think we need to stop looking at the color of the skin and start paying attention to who you are as a human being, because none of that matters. We all operate the same way. We all have heart, lungs, and our systems, and we all suffer emotional pain, and there is no one who is better than another. Just because you have money doesn't make you better, and just because you're famous doesn't make you better, and just because your skin color is a different color doesn't make you better. It's all in the head, and it's what you want to believe so you can think better of yourself. And thinking better of yourself really comes from within. Loving yourself, knowing who you are. And then everyone else looks beautiful, because you don't need to compare yourself. You don't need to say, oh, you know, he's this way or she's that way, so I feel better about me. Because that's all it is. If you look in the mirror, every time that you start to have a judgmental thought process, you'll say, oh my God, that's not coming from real truth. It's coming from me being fearful, or me disliking myself, or me feeling, what is it, the word, it's on the tip of my tongue, feeling not worthy. It's always reflects back to you. So we need to just get rid of that. Okay, now I know that some people say, oh, it's not that easy. It is that easy, because if one person, every one of you out there, looked in the mirror and said, am I doing this? Am I practicing this behavior? Or do I know someone who's practicing this behavior? And if they are, then you just say, I want you to look in the mirror at yourself. I want you to change who you are. And by changing who you are, you start the change. And then you start talking to other people about it. The guy that was on the website, GOP, and the hate website, that should have been shut down. The government shouldn't even allow these websites to be in existence. If you're online and you see someone's doing hate or racism or political hate or sexual orientation hate or what other hate? Religion hate. Be strong enough of a human to get involved and say, you know what, this needs to stop. And get rid of that person who's on there and delete their comments. Get the company to delete their comments. We need to all be involved in this, and that's how you start to get the mentality of to stop perpetuating this craziness. You stop it. You snip it and stop it by each one of us taking steps to make sure that it's stopped. I've been online and heard conversations on Muslim websites about Muslims and this and that. And I'm not Muslim, obviously. And I went in and I just went crazy talking about, like, there's no way that you can blame all Muslims for something that extreme Muslims have done. You cannot blame all Muslims, and you cannot look at them all like that, because there's loving, good people in every religion, every race, in every political party, whatever you want to say. We're all really one. We just have been segregated by all different types of things on this planet, which causes us to deflect away from the one thing we all have in common is we all want to be accepted and we all want to be loved. And I know that this isn't kumbaya. This is really the truth. If we all just walk through life and say, I don't care what your religion is. I don't care what your political agenda is. As long as you're a good person. I don't care. Did I say religion? I don't care what your sexual orientation is. All I care about is that you treat me good and that you have good energy coming off of you, and you're trying to be the best human you can be in the moment, and you're continuing to ascend, because all of us are on our own process. That I'll take any day over people who are fighting and arguing and hating on each other and getting involved like little children, fighting and talking on TV and giving their opinion about this one and that one and creating all this drama. It's like they're living in this clusterfuck of drama. And it's like, in order to get yourself out of that, you need to just do one thing. Look in the mirror at yourself and just say, am I being a good human being? And be honest with yourself, because they're all going to know. You're going to know. Can't lie to yourself, really. And if you do, then you need psychiatric help. Each one of us can do that. And I do that often. And when I make mistakes, I own up to it. But I've taken a long path in my life. And I spent a lot of time alone in my lifetime with my animals, because that's where I feel the safest. And I'm happy, but I've also learned a lot about myself through my spirituality and through meditation and through my communication with the spirit world. And I feel that they've told me that this is something I need to do, by the way, is, you know, they didn't say create a YouTube channel, because that's not what they did, but they said you need to speak, be outspoken with people, because that's part of your journey. So this is what I'm doing today. Speaking about the race, the politics, and the religion. Those are three things that if we started to look at them differently, started to look at ourselves differently, and started to look at other people differently and say, okay, I accept this, and just accept the other party for whoever they are. It doesn't matter, because in the end, that's God's child too. We're all one. And I hope I'm saying this properly to everyone, but we all just need to put our differences aside, because in the end, there really is no differences. We just think there's differences because they have been programmed into our head that we're different when we're not. We might have different personalities, different ways of living our life, different music that we like and enjoy. Yeah, that's what makes the world go round. But when it all comes down to it, we all want to be loved. And if you want to be loved, how dare you not love someone else? How dare you be a hypocrite and judge someone else? And last but not least, love all creatures, because all creatures on this planet deserve just as much love as human beings do. God put them here for a reason, to teach us, to make us happy, and to obviously make the ecosystem of the planet go around and around. So, Pouncy's out. I hope that I brought some subjects up to you, something up to you that made sense, because a lot of my stuff is right off the cuff, and there's so much more to come. I will be doing videos on different things regarding food, which I love food, to different things regarding customer service. I mean, I have a long laundry list of stuff, scams, different things that you might find intriguing and interesting. So if you want to subscribe, I would love you to subscribe and tune in, because there's going to be days where I'm going to be gently speaking to you like this, and there's going to be days that I'm going to be out and about in the real world showing you some stuff. stuff. So Pouncy's out, and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Pouncy house. We pounce and then we bounce.
Coming soon to a city near